Give me another concept, another idea. Give me another concept, another idea. Give me another concept, another idea. Another idea.
The 80s, crazy, 17-year-old Ben's baby.
Welcome to my channel. Make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Well, guys, I've been looking at this Mariah Carey thing for 2 days, maybe 2 or 3 days, but I just didn't have the time to do a story on it. But the minute that I heard that her mother and her sister passed on the same day, my radar went up. I'm sorry. Y'all know my radar is always lingering around. Sometimes it's right. Well, 99.9% of the time, it is right. So her mom and sister passed away on the same day. And they were not in the same location. They were in different parts of the world. They did not disclose as of yet what caused their passing. But the first thing I thought about when I heard this was when Michael Jackson said this a few years back.
I'm going to say it right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it.
So, please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Turn that off, please. No, what? I don't mind. Tape it.
Oh! Michael is getting gangster today!
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tommy, came to me crying. She was crying so badly I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil, and she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
Oh!
Now, at the time, a lot of things was being revealed. Michael, I would say, he kind of like spearheaded this. And he started to just talk. He didn't care anymore. He started to tell, and this is also the setting where he spoke on Sony Records and said that Sony Records was also the devil, okay? Michael was not playing around. And now, years later, looking back, and you hear all these different stories, you kind of say, like, maybe these people were telling the truth. They had no reason to be up there lying. Now, I don't have much history about Mariah Carey, but over the years, her sister has been coming out saying things about them being involved in SNA, which is Satanic Ritual Abuse, SRA rather, as children. And she has given examples and stories. But of course, everybody has written it off as she just wanted money from Mariah and this, that, and the other. But can you make up these kind of stories? I don't know, guys. I'm going to play some things for you and let you guys be the judge. But the first things that I was hearing about Mariah Carey in the rumor mill was about how Tommy Mottola was possessive over her and basically running her whole life, like even outside of her music career. And this is what she had to say about that.
Lifetime of chaos. Then this powerful man suddenly came along, parting the seas to make room for my dream.
In the very beginning, I did feel protected by him. I definitely felt that we had a bond in music, that I felt that he believed in me.
Soon after we met, Tommy started making romantic overtures. His persistent gestures and constant attention gave me a sense of safety.
She soon realized it wasn't as safe as she had hoped.
From the moment Tommy signed me, he tried to wash the urban off of me.
Him sleeping and you getting up and leaving the bed just to go to a room privately.
Now, that was the same thing Whitney said about Clive Davis. How when he discovered her and realized how talented she was, he tried to remove the urban out of her. Well, the same thing happened to Mariah Carey. Let's continue.
And then hearing through the intercom, where are you? What are you doing?
Just made everything just back into like this stiff moment of being at attention. There was pressure from him to get married, but I thought he would lighten his grip on me. I thought he would relax. I didn't feel like he got the fact that I was also a human being with my own feelings and thoughts.
What made you ignore all of those feelings?
Fear. A lot of it had to do with fear.
Pushed to the edge, she tried to break free with her friend Debrat.
The phone didn't stop ringing the entire time. At first, we thought it was funny, and we literally were going to go for 5 minutes, which was a huge deal. For me to just go off the property without security, it just became a huge, huge thing. And she was in shock, and she did say, "This is not okay. You're Mariah Carey. I thought you could do whatever you want. Like, you can't be in this relationship."
Mariah knew she couldn't take it much longer, but she felt trapped.
You said, I didn't believe I was worthy of both happiness and success.
I called him TV Valentine. That was his stage name back in the day when he fancied himself a musician. He loved music, that much is true, and he found a way to have a lifelong affair with it. As I've said, our mutual love of music, ambition, and power was completely intertwined with our personal relationship. Music was the relationship, but try as we might, that couldn't make it a marriage. I sincerely believed in my heart I would be with Tommy forever, but my sanity and soul would not surrender to my heart, and the marriage swiftly began to harm me on an emotional and spiritual level. There was a popular mythology that I was some sophisticated gold digger who bagged a big-time hitmaker who was now bankrolling my princess lifestyle, that I was just sitting pretty on a throne in my $30 million mansion. The wedding certainly gave that illusion, and that's all it was, an illusion. If there was any perception of a fairy tale marriage or life, it was absolutely smoke and mirrors. The ironclad safety.
And your husband's in the business as well. Mm-hmm. I was told he's very, very important.
Yeah, he's all right.
What does he do?
Just kidding. He is the president of Sony.
Yeah, for whom you record.
Yeah.
Mariah left Tommy, but he didn't let her get away easily.
He was angry about the divorce and my departure from Sony, and he used all his power and connections to punish me. Sony rushed to make a single for another female entertainer on their label.
Part of the melody in Jennifer's hit, I'm Real, comes from Mariah's own song, Loverboy.
You know J-Lo at this point?
I don't know her.
He's forgetful, I guess.
Yes.
He didn't want it to look like I could succeed on my own without him.
Tommy didn't like the way you dressed. He would not have liked you to dress like this.
Pre and post Tommy Mottola is when I knew I was gay. It's my coming out. It was my.
Yeah, well, she said it in her own words. And she confirmed what Michael said years ago, because he was the first one that revealed what she was actually going through and what she was actually thinking at the time, and how she felt about Tommy Mottola. But then her sister started coming out and speaking, and this is what she had to say, y'all.
Through the bushes at the Unitarian Church down by the water in Huntington, there was a building, big building, tall, right through the bushes at the fellowship, and they'd have these big circles of these Satanists around an altar where the people, sometimes in hooded long cloaks that were brown with hoods, and they'd be in a circle or two circles, one inside of the other, by the altar, where there'd be live children and sometimes babies, but not at the same time, one at a time. So, and that would happen at night. It never happened during the fellowship. I saw people get and start bleeding, and it would be dripping to the floor. It was children. The youngest I ever saw had would say was about younger than 2 years old. And then there were several that were 2 and 3 years old. Can't imagine how anybody got away with that. The kid disappears. Don't detectives come try to figure out?
Now, this is not the first time I've heard stories like this. I've come across stories of people who have experienced what she's speaking on, and they described almost the exact same thing. I also heard that there will be females in the cults that would have babies just for these rituals. Like, they're not recorded anywhere, they don't have them in a hospital or anything like that. So that's where some of these kids were coming from. It's very, very scary, and it's like almost unbelievable, some of the stories you hear. But she always told the same story. She never changed her story and changed up anything. She always told the same story. And Mariah's sister had a problem with drugs and prostitution, and even Mariah said that she tried to drug her and make her do something as far as selling sex and she was 6 years younger than her sister. So I think this was all a result of trauma and what was done to her. And the way she handled it was through drugs, and the drugs made her behave in terrible ways. And she eventually wound up catching HIV, and then it turned into full-blown AIDS. But let's continue listening to what the sister had to say.
A satanic cult used to force me to attend certain rituals. There were a lot of things that I witnessed that, were like secrets that you wish you didn't have to hold on to. People would be wearing black robes with hoods, so you couldn't see their faces. And they'd be walking in a line, chanting, to drink blood. They do that. I did suffer during those rituals. Some of those satanic holidays, they always will be involved with all kinds of stuff going on that really shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be something we are forced to watch.
Let me explain why rituals involve sex. Sex opens up portals. Like when you have two people connecting together spiritually, there's portals that are opened. And these are the times where, if you ever heard of sex magic, where they feel that they can manifest things, whether it be negative or positive. But mostly these type of cults and groups, they want to manifest something negative. But let's continue.
Their whole life. I never saw Mariah with us when we were walking into Mariah. I know that you've gone through a tremendous amount of pain and difficulty, and sometimes it's as though, I know sometimes you feel as though what you're remembering didn't really happen, I just want you to know that if there was ever any way that you needed help from me, just pick up the phone and call me. I would always be there for you.
The baby. As Allison claimed, she protected her sister at one of these satanic cult parties. It could be possible that Patricia made a pact with the devil and possibly offered her soul and Allison. This would explain why she would give Allison to the cult for rituals and ceremonies and not Mariah. It would also explain how Allison has such a terrible life, full of substance abuse and trauma, while Mariah had a marvelous life full of wealth and fame. When people are offered to the devil, demons overtake their life, and that's exactly what we saw with Allison. It's obvious to me that Allison was the price for Mariah's success, as she admitted this herself. Patricia offered Allison to this cult that led to the success of Mariah. Patricia then benefited from the success Mariah had. She enjoyed the money and fame her daughter earned. Mariah's career was like no others in the industry. She became one of the most successful singers to have ever lived, and we know there's a price for that level of success. To this day, she makes millions of dollars a year, while her sister barely made it by. In the occult, many make these kinds of deals where they offer a loved one for success and fame. Now, this is exactly what I believe happened with Patricia and Allison. Now, it appears it was time to collect on that deal. This is always a price for fame when you get it from the devil. While Mariah might have been given the world, she lost her family and her soul for it. Her mother gave her to Satan to make her a star. I will pray for Allison, as I truly feel bad she was born into such a lifestyle.
So that's the story that she had. And now, fast forward, her and her mom passed away on the same freaking day. What are the odds of that? It says Mariah Carey is grieving the deaths of two family members. The 55-year-old singer confirmed in an August 26th statement that both her mother, Patricia, and her sister, Allison, recently passed away on the same day. Pat was 87 years old, and Allison was 63 years old. So 8 plus 7 is 15. That's a 6. And 6 plus 3 is 9. Those are those numbers, y'all. That's those numbers. My heart is broken that I've lost my mother this past weekend. Sadly, in a tragic turn of events, my sister lost her life on the same day, Carey told People. I feel blessed that I was able to spend the last week with my mom before she passed. I appreciate everyone's love and support and respect for my privacy during this impossible time. Now let me make this clear. Even if her sister was sacrificed for her career, or whatever it may be, it doesn't mean that Mariah Carey knew what was going on. It could have been very well, as the video I just played stated, that her mother was involved, as her sister Allison said that it was a family member that was having them participate in these satanic cult activities, okay? Mariah didn't share about the causes of death, but the Times-Union reported Allison died in a hospice care following complications with her internal organs. The 5-time Grammy winner had a complex relationship with her mom, who was a Juilliard-trained opera singer and vocal coach. I didn't even know that. Our relationship is a prickly rope of pride, pain, shame, gratitude, jealousy, admiration, and disappointment, Mariah wrote in her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey. A complicated love tethers my heart to my mother's. So her mother was in the industry, guys. Prior to Mariah, being in the industry, her mother was already in the industry. Additionally, Mariah was estranged from her sister. In her memoir, she revealed Allison gave her drugs at a young age and put her in dangerous situations, writing that it was emotionally and physically safer for me not to have any contact. In 2021, Allison sued the We Belong Together singer for intentionally causing her emotional distress over the contents of the book. The lawsuit was unresolved when Allison passed away. Legendary singer Mariah Carey has recorded 19 #1 songs, more than any other solo artist in Billboard Hot 100 history. The native New Yorker became an immediate sensation with her 1990 self-titled debut album, thanks to her 5-octave range and popular love ballads. By the end of the decade, Carey had released the Diamond-certified albums Music Box and Daydream, and eclipsed Michael Jackson's record for most chart-topping singles by an individual. Her 2005 album, The Emancipation of Mimi, became that year's best-selling record, and the 5-time Grammy winner now stands as one of the most commercially successful artists of all time, with more than 200 million albums sold worldwide. Her hit songs include Vision of Love, Hero, One Sweet Day with Boyz II Men, We Belong Together, and the modern holiday classic, All I Want for Christmas Is You. You know what I can't stand? They always talk about how people surpassed Michael Jackson. I don't give a damn how many #1 singles they had. Michael Jackson is always going to be #1 in my book. From childhood to adultism, there's no other entertainer like him. Let's get that straight, okay? Let's start there. Anyway, y'all, I'm out here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Peace and love.